Hello there, welcome to my channel. My name's Catherine and this is So Much Sewing. So Much Sewing is all about sewing. It's all about my sewing adventures. It's all about the patterns that I make, the fabrics that I purchase, how I put them all together, fitting issues that I have along the way with this ever-changing, maturing, shall we say, body of mine. And just, yeah, everything sewing. So I hope you love sewing as much as I do. I hope you'll stick around and watch my video. If this is your first time here, welcome. I hope you do like what you see, and I hope you will consider subscribing and liking, hitting that notification bell, perhaps sharing my video with somebody. And if you are a returning viewer, thanks so much for coming back to see me again today. Today I'm going to show you some makes, one of which I'm wearing at the moment, and I'm also going to do the draw for my giveaway, which was celebrating 1 whole year as a YouTube presenter, content provider, whatever I am. It's been 1 year, and so I've had a lot of entries, and I will do that a little bit later. First of all, I'll show you what I have been sewing, and this is my second Joanie shirt from So Liberated. You may recall I made a grey flannel one for the wintry months, which is so fantastic. I see why people love flannel. I think it might be the first thing I've ever made out of flannel, but it was gorgeous and snuggly and warm. And this is the summertime version of that. I will pop some pictures in. Oh, I hope I've left enough room over here. Let me just move over here so I can put the pictures up here. So what I did with this is I lengthened it. I made it into a shirt dress is what I'm trying to say. So please excuse the lily white milk bottle bright white legs. I'd like to tell you that it's, hey, only the first few days into spring, and my legs will darken up as they get some sun, but the reality is they won't. That is the colour of my legs. I have English, Irish, Scottish heritage, and I think that's perfectly evident in my skin. So I never tan. I do sometimes use self tanner, but honestly you can hardly even tell the difference anyway. But anyway, lily white legs, that's me. I'm okay with it. I hope you are too. As you can see, I went with the pop of colour on the buttons. I was debating about whether I would go black, or there's a little pocket here somewhere, here we go, or whether I would go with these red, almost cerise colour. They don't really match the colour that's in the shirt, but I'm perfectly okay with that. I love that pop of colour. I'm glad that I went with that coloured button. And I was a little bit disappointed with the collar. I feel that it sits fine. I don't think anybody's going to have any issue with it, but I've got a bit of an issue with it because as I was sewing it up, I was being so careful. I had made it before, but I was being so careful because I'm not that experienced with making shirts. And the collar is cut, the under collar is cut a little bit shorter than the top collar, so that when you turn it out, the top collar is a little bit longer, so you don't get that underside rolling on the edge, if you understand what I mean. And that was looking beautiful. I attached it and it was sitting so gorgeously. I was very proud. See, that's the problem, isn't it, folks? Pride come before a fall. Sorry, you can hear that. I've got the window open. It's a beautiful, beautiful spring day here today. You can hear my dog Jazz barking in the background. My husband's out there mulching things. He might get out the chainsaw again in a minute. The neighbours are probably going to start doing things, but I'm not shutting out the beautiful spring weather. It's gorgeous. I am so loving it, so I hope you don't mind if you do hear any noises in the background. Where I was going to with this collar is it was gorgeous. It was sitting so nicely. It was doing everything it meant to do. And then I attached the facings, and you do the whole burrito thing, and I turned it out, and no, the facings were actually on this side. So I had attached it incorrectly somehow. So the facings were on the outside, which is not really what the look is that I was going for. So I unpicked it all and I carefully redid it, made sure I was doing it all correctly, and yes, I turned it out and it was correct. The facings were now underneath where they were supposed to be, but the collar was upside down. So the top collar is actually now underneath and the bottom collar is now on top, which meant that it didn't sit right. The top collar was rolling towards the bottom collar, which is what it's supposed to do, but of course it was sitting the wrong way round. So I thought about every which way of fixing it. I'd already unpicked it and redone it, and I just thought, no, sewing's fun. I'm not going to stress myself out and unpick the collar, you know, like that's a lot of work. It's one thing to unstitch what I had done to sew the burrito, you know, to turn it all through, but it's a totally another thing to unstitch the collar from both the sections at the back here, and I just wasn't going to do it. Some of you out there may have done that and you may be thinking what a lazy sewer I am, but you know, that's reality. I'm not going to turn myself inside out to make a perfect garment. You can't even tell, can you? I don't think anybody can tell. But what I did do is underneath here is I actually took a little bit of a seam and I just hand stitched it. So I pulled the top collar down a little bit and hand stitched it down just at the back, just to help it sit a little bit better, and I think that worked perfectly well. I was very happy with the tower plackets. Again, they are not perfection, but I'm really happy. This is the second time, I think, only the second time I've done a tower placket on the sleeve. I'm really happy with this, and I think this is going to get a lot of wear during the summer months, spring and summer months. The next thing I'm going to talk to you about is my Merchant & Mills field dress made in this beautiful caper coloured linen that I got from the fabric store here in New Zealand. You may recall my sister made her sew over at Frida dress out of this, and I just love the colour so much. You'll see that I purchased the cuffing, the proper Merchant & Mills cuffing that goes that has been designed especially for this dress, apparently, for this pattern. So I had mixed feelings about the cuffing. I'll put the pictures in here, of course, for you to see, and I love the dress. I absolutely love it. I am totally in love with it, and I will wear this a lot. The first thing I did was I actually put, I've never been sure about the length of the fielder. For me, I feel like it's not a, I'm just causing mayhem over here. For me, I feel it's not a great length on me. I've got quite skinny legs, my thighs are quite skinny, but I've always had very athletic calves. I don't know how, but so my calves are a bit bigger, and so I don't like anything cutting me across the middle of my calves. It's either got to be above the knee to show off some skinny leg, or it's got to be down past the largest part of my calf to show off my slimmer ankle. For me, that's just the way I prefer it. I like to sort of balance my body out a little bit. I don't care how anybody else dresses, or you know, whether they think that's appropriate or not. That's the way I like to do it. So I did add, I cut it out as it was and tried it on just to make sure that what I was thinking was correct, that it wasn't the right length for me. And so yes, I added on an extra, however much that is, onto the bottom. So I'm really happy with the length of the dress. I think it's fantastic. I think the length combined with just the shape of the dress is really elongating on me. I feel I look heaps taller in this dress. The sleeves, what I did, sorry, I will tell you the size. I cut a size 16 around the bust, the sleeves and the bust, and an 18 around from about here downwards, from about no, probably from under, it was under the bust dart. So from about here downwards, I graded out to an 18. When it came to trying it on, I did kind of muck around with the sleeves, because originally it's got, the pattern calls for sleeves that come to about here, and I wanted to make those longer. So I made the sleeve longer, and then I thought, oh, actually no, I'm lengthening the dress. I don't want long sleeves as well. I don't want it to look, you know, smock like, you know, scrubs, or like a nightgown. So I didn't want any of those things to happen. So I then cut the sleeve. What did I do? I then took it back to the length that it was supposed to be. I don't know what I did. Whether it was me mucking around with the length of the sleeve, I don't know. But, or maybe it was just the size 16 was just a little bit too snug for me. So long story short, when I put it on, the sleeves, I felt they were too tight around here, and they were sort of pulling and restricting, and I wasn't happy with that fit. So I cut them off and I made them into short sleeves, so they sit, you'll see in the pictures, that's my elbow there, they sit just basically there, which I find is a great sleeve length for me. Covers all the loose skin and business that I've got going on there, and so I feel comfortable with that length. Perfect. I love the way this ribbing looks. I really do. I think it elevates the dress. Oh, I've got a little label in there. What does that say? Slow fashion. Now here is where I'm not amazingly happy. You know, when you do a normal cuff, you fold it in half and your seams are all enclosed, so you don't see that seam line. So that's really the only thing I'm not amazingly happy with. And also you pay $30 per length, and I needed 2 lengths. So these cuffing lengths are just over 1 meter long, and they're 6 centimeters wide or something. So you pay $30, or I did actually find another company where I purchased another color for $20 a length. But if you're buying 2, that's an extra $60 or an extra $40 for your garment, which, you know, when you've already spent a ton of money on some, you know, beautiful fabric that you just love, another $60 or $40 on top of that just adds, we know sewing's not cheap, but it just adds an extra expense. So while I feel it does elevate it, it really makes it look special, I think. It gives it a bit more of an edge. I don't know if I would do that again. And yeah, coupled with the extra expense and with this thing here. Yeah, but that's just my opinion, my thoughts. I have that other cuffing which I will use, and I'm sure I will love the result. So yeah, just you know, if you, I suppose at the end of the day, if I'm wanting to make a garment that I want to look a bit elevated and a bit more special, then yeah, it's probably worth it to do this, especially if you can use a fabric that you've got on sale or something that's in your stash, so it hasn't cost you anything. See what I did there? It didn't cost you anything, even though it probably cost you a fortune 2 years ago when you bought it. Then it's probably worth it to use this cuffing. And everybody's going to have a different opinion, but that is just mine. End of the day, I love this dress. And my last make to show you are the Almost Long pants by the Assembly line. I've had this pattern in my stash for a while, and I've had this fabric in my stash for a while as well. This is a stretch cotton. It's vertical stretch, and there's really not a lot of horizontal stretch. And this pattern does not call for stretch fabric, but I thought it would probably work. I'm not very experienced with making pants at all. I'm so happy with them, so happy with them. I made a size large across the waist and graded to a medium down the leg. They've got the pockets, they've got the elastic waist, they've got an elastic cuff at the hem, which I'm reasonably okay with. Maybe they got a bit twisted in the sewing, I'm not sure. I just feel the elastic's also a little bit long. It would be, I think, a little better, I think, if it was a little bit shorter. What I did was, made the large around the middle and the medium from the hip down. I did end up taking off 1.5 centimeters off the back seam on each side, so that's 3 centimeters. I ended up taking 3 centimeters out of this seam down the back. Now, does that mean I can go down to a size medium next time I make them? I don't really know, because as I say, this fabric is stretch, so whether that helps with the fit, I don't know. I'm not at all experienced with making pants, but taking that 3 centimeters out in total along down this back seam here worked very, very well. I feel they are looser than the sort of pants I normally wear. I normally wear tight stretch pants, stretch jeans, what have you. So these are a completely different fit. I'm all about the skinny jeans these days. Sorry, the cat's getting up to mischief over in the corner there. I'm all about the skinny pants, but I wanted to break out and do something a little bit different. Oh, you can hear him meowing. He's looking for some food, I think. Just one moment. No, he was looking for the toilet just as well. I checked on him. He is old, and we took him to the vet the other day, and he's got thyroid issues. And essentially, he's probably only got a couple of months left on this earth. And he's finding, life a little bit challenging. So he generally lives up here in my dressing room. He will find my washing basket with clean clothes in it or with dirty clothes in it. He doesn't mind, and he will sit in there pretty much all day. He is, with his thyroid, he's starving all the time, so I put food up here and I put water up here for him, and he's got a litter tray just out the door here. So he's got everything he needs up here. He does go downstairs and go outside every now and then, and he does come down for dinner, but he's pretty happy up here. I can't remember where I was with these long pants. Yeah, I did actually, I burnt them. They've got a lot of elastine in them, and I had the iron too hot, so I burnt them. But that is on the back. And I would never ever wear these with anything tucked into them anyway, so no one's ever going to see that burn there. But yeah, I think I was saying that these pants are a different style to what I normally wear. I've been wearing skinny pants for the longest time because I feel like they are a really good shape on my figure. But I wanted to break out and do something different, and these are a lot looser than I would normally wear. I still feel they are a little bit big around the waist, so I probably would go down to a medium next time, and I think I'd probably use a stretch fabric again because I think it worked perfectly. And I love them. I love them. You can see I've got them styled with my closet core, what's it called, Stevie blouse, that I use fabric from the Dahlia Society, one of her bespoke boxes. So I know I will wear these. I think they are very, they're both smart looking, and I can dress them down to wear casually. So I think these are going to be an awesome piece in my wardrobe. I have made one other thing that I won't show you this week because this video will probably get a little bit long. I'll show you that next week, and because I want to make another version. But I'm going to try and make my videos a little bit shorter in this year moving forward. I know a lot of my beautiful subscribers and viewers have said that they like a longer video to watch, but not everybody does, so I'm going to try and cut these down and stop yammering on so much and sort of do maybe 15-minute videos. So let's see how that goes, eh? But right now I'm going to go back downstairs. I'm going to print off all the entries into the giveaway. I wanted to leave it as long as possible to give everybody enough time to enter if they wanted to. So I'm going to go and do that now, and then I'll chop them all up, put them in a little bowl, and I'll come back and do the drawer. Exciting! Okie dokie, so I have printed off the entries. There were 75 entries, which that's amazing, thank you. My biggest fear that there would just be, you know, 2 or 3 entries. So I'm amazed and so happy that so many people have entered the giveaway. I actually would just like to take this moment to say a heartfelt thank you to everybody who has supported me over this last year. You won't know this, but I have been feeling very blue the last few months. I think it started when my older brother popped off suddenly, unexpectedly at age 69. We lost him, and then very shortly after that we lost my favourite dog, Butch. And I think I just sort of started spiralling down a little bit, and then I hit my head quite badly. You know, there was no long-term effects, medical effects or whatever, but I hit my head quite badly, and that really affected me and upset me. And then my husband was being unsatisfactory, as sometimes husbands are, and I just kind of spiraled a little bit. And then this whole 1 year on YouTube cropped up, and I started comparing myself to other YouTubers, which, you know, that is only going to end disastrously, isn't it? Comparing yourself to other people. But I was looking at other channels that started around the same time as me, thinking they've got more subscribers than me. You know, looking at especially the ladies in England, they've got such an amazing tight-knit group, and they all talk about each other's channels and promote each other's channels, and I was thinking, oh, why haven't I got that? Whoa. But do you know what? I've got some amazing subscribers and viewers, because not everybody who watches me are subscribed. Why not? Please subscribe. But yeah, amazing, beautiful people. I feel like I was love bombed with this giveaway. Obviously you were just entering the giveaway, but I had said in a previous video, you don't have to say anything, you don't have to do anything, just tell me the pattern you would like and the name of the company. You don't even have to say anything. But almost every single person said something lovely to me, which is amazing. And so I really feel like I was love bombed, and you guys have really perked me up out of my blue funk, so thank you so much for that. And look, we have actually an amazing support network of vloggers over here in Australasia. Australasia being Australia, New Zealand, you know, Pacific nations. There's some amazing, beautiful women who I feel we are a nice little group, such as Hayley from the Hay Meadow, Katrina from Create Something Pretty, Deb from DB Designs Australia. These are all women who I engage with regularly, and I feel like we're a really great support group. Of course, there's Kristen from the Dahlia Society, who is, you know, a huge inspiration to me personally. And there's another lady in Australia, Deb from Sewing Seams with Deb. I don't have a lot to do with her, but I feel, you know, I watch her videos, and I think she watches mine from time to time. And in New Zealand, we have got a newcomer, Stacey from Stacey J's studio. She's just new, but she is firing out videos left, right and centre. And of course we have Deb from Slap Happy Sewing. Deb has been around for quite a while. She is actually a POM living in New Zealand, but we won't hold that against her. She's obviously been in New Zealand so long. I can tell that because as an English person she now calls trousers pants, so that indicates to me she's been here for quite a while, and she's been inducted into the New Zealand way of life. And there's another newcomer, New Zealand stitch bird, Fiona. So we do have a nice group of vloggers, you know, in my part of the world. So, you know, what was I crying about? I don't know. But you know what it's like, you know, life happens sometimes and you do feel blue, and there's not even necessarily a reason for it. But, you know, I just wanted to let you know that your love bomb really picked me up, and I'm feeling loads and loads better. So thank you very much. And now on to the draw. As I said, there were 75 entries. I've got them all in here. And I'm going to pick one out. As I said, I am going to respond to your comment with the words, "The eagle has landed, tag your it." So you know that it's me, genuinely me, responding to you rather than some ratbag scammery type person. So I hope you see my comment, because I have already commented, replied to everybody's comments. So I hope you will then see my new comment to you with that tagline. My preference is if you please contact me on Instagram. I'll put my Instagram name down here. If you don't follow me on Instagram, it would be great if you did start doing Instagram, following me, you know what I'm trying to say. I'm not a great Instagram poster, but I do go through little flurries of activity, and I do need to try and get better. So please follow me on Instagram, and the winner who I pull out of this jar here, please contact me on Instagram if you can. If you don't have an Instagram account, that's okay. In my email, in my response where I say "the eagle has landed, tag your it," I'll also give you my email address, and you can email me that way if you like. So here we go. Oh, it's so exciting. Oops, did I drop one? Get back in there. Okay. La la la, la 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 la. Got one. Who have we got? No way! Create something pretty. That's Katrina's. Create something pretty. She is after the Atelier Jupe Solange dress. So that is winging your way. Katrina, I know you will have Instagram, so please contact me on Instagram, or I'll contact you anyway and let you know that you have won this. So that's pretty exciting. Thanks everybody so much for entering into the draw. I appreciate your support, and I really appreciate your love bombs when I really needed it most. Thank you for joining me on this video. I hope you will join me again. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. I hope you're happy, I hope you're well, and I look forward to seeing you again on my next video. See ya.